Well, during the holiday season, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle. Between the cleaning, food, shopping, prepping, and traveling, well, giving thanks on Thanksgiving might get put on the back burner. But just a little bit of gratitude can go a long way. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Erin LeBeau.
And I'm Tamsin Fidel. Well, 'tis the season for giving a lot of thanks. It's right in the title of Thanksgiving. And you don't, of course, have to wait until the holiday to express any gratitude.
Yeah, in fact, some say you should practice gratitude more often because of its positive impact on your mental health. So joining us now to talk about it is psychotherapist Niro Feliciano. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's jump right in. Can you explain what gratitude is? And is it a feeling, is it an action, or is it both?
It can be both. And as you both know, I wrote a book on finding contentment, and this is how important gratitude is. I have yet to meet a content, joyful person that does not know how to access gratitude. So in that case, it is more of a practice. We can have the feeling of being grateful, but if we know how to practice gratitude, we will then know how to elicit those feelings of feeling grateful. So I'd say more of a practice.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I always wonder, you're around those people that are that have that gratitude and you feel it when you're around them. So I'm curious, what happens to our actual physical bodies when we express gratitude? And how does it impact? I guess it impacts mental health in a big way, right?
It impacts, surprisingly, not just our mental health, but our physical health, Tamsin. So one thing we know is when we practice gratitude, there are different positive mood elevating neurochemicals that are released. But the interesting thing is depending on how you practice it will determine what neurochemical is released. So if we're expressing gratitude to someone else or out loud, we know we see a release of dopamine, which encourages pro-social behavior. We want to connect with people. You can see why that's important in the workplace. Productivity, that general happiness high is all dopamine. Writing it down, journaling, sending a note to someone of gratitude will increase our serotonin. And we've all heard about serotonin in terms of elevating mood, but it also increases our motivation and our willpower. But why it also affects our physical health, and all our research shows people who have a gratitude practice live longer and healthier because it mediates our stress response. It brings down our level of stress, and then we don't sacrifice immune function to take care of that threat going on in our body. So our immunity goes up, we live longer, and we live healthier. It's a powerful practice.
It is. Okay, so November is National Gratitude Month, but how can we express gratitude in our lives every day?
It can be a 3-minute practice. Wake up in the morning, think of 3 things that you're grateful for that went well the day before, writing a note of text to someone else just to express your gratefulness to something they did or said. I always say if we can't access gratitude for ourselves, be the reason for someone else's gratitude. Having it as a family practice, talk about it around the dinner table. What's everybody grateful for today? What went well today? And then, of course, journaling is great. You don't have to do it every 3 days. I don't write big paragraphs. I bullet point, but every 3 days approximately to get those benefits we talked about regarding serotonin release.
Okay, I have to ask you this. When you journal, do you just do it anywhere or do you have one book and that's what you do it in?
One book.
Yeah?
One book. Because, you know, on the days that I'm not feeling good and I need to remember what was good, I don't want to sift through a bunch of my thoughts. I want one place to go to, and we can forget so often. And one of the keys to that dopamine release as well in journaling, think of something that's current in the day, that's happened recently, because that helps get out of the, I'm thankful for my health, I'm thankful for my partner. Well, what about your health are you thankful for today? That you got out of bed, that you didn't have that chronic pain today. What did your partner do that made you happy today? Was it a comment or a smile or a hug on the way to work? Be specific about what you're bullet pointing.
That's a good point, because I think we say journal and then everyone's like, well, I have to what? I have to work after I get home? So it's nice to hear that it can be very, very easy.
And I feel for me, even just speaking things that I'm grateful for kind of helps me. Or I just start singing Beyonce's "You Won't Break My Soul." That kind of helps me be grateful. Okay, so is gratitude a learned behavior? And how can parents kind of help their kids practice this?
You know exactly what you just said. We model. Kids, there's this quote, what you say, what you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. They're taking in what we're doing. So even singing, talking about what you're grateful for, asking them those questions. What went well in school today? Did anything great happen this week? But I love that dinner table exercise, just to check in with everybody. At first, my kids fought me on this, but now they've accepted it. It takes a while for kids to adapt a new practice, but I do think they enjoy it because it helps them have perspective. And I always say that we take for granted things that other people dream about. So having that gratitude practice brings us back into perspective on what is good in our life that many people would do anything for in this moment.
Is it possible to have too much gratitude? And what would that look like?
We don't
I feel
want
like
to
the answer is you can't have too much, but I don't know.
I don't think you can if it's sincere. But what we want to be careful of is toxic positivity.
Yeah.
And especially when we're talking to someone else, we have to feel the negative feelings and work through that. Like, for example, if someone's house burned down, you don't want to be like, well, you should be grateful that you can now renovate the kitchen.
Right.
No.
Now you don't have to declutter.
Right.
Exactly. So
Terrible.
we have
You've
to
heard that
use
stuff
it
before.
as a defense.
Yep.
Right. Yep. We want to feel the feelings and access a genuine place of gratitude.
Yeah, because it's just insincere, and then it just makes people not believe anything. That's a good point.
That's when
a
they
really
say
good
read
point.
the room.
Yep.
All right, well, Niro, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, nice to see you both, and great
Nice
topic.
to see you always.
And to see more of her tips and advice, you can go to her website, NiroFeliciano.com, or follow her on Instagram, Niro_Feliciano.